Right now, somewhere in the world, a person earning less than you is becoming richer than you'll ever be. Not because they got a lucky break, not because they inherited money, not because they found some secret stock tip. It's because of 12 quiet decisions they make over and over without applause, without anyone watching. And by the time you notice they're wealthy, it's already too late to catch up the easy way. But here's the good news. None of these 12 moves require luck. They require awareness. And in the next few minutes, you're going to learn every single one of them. 12 moves smart investors make that quietly build their wealth. There's a strange thing that happens when you study genuinely wealthy people, not the flashy ones on social media showing off rented cars, but the ones who actually hold real, lasting wealth. You stop noticing grand gestures, you stop seeing dramatic bets. Instead, you notice something almost boring: patterns, small, repeated, unremarkable decisions that compound into something enormous over time. Most people think wealth is built through a single big moment, a great investment, a business that explodes, a stock that tenfolds overnight. But if you actually sit down with self-made millionaires and study their habits closely, you find the opposite. Wealth isn't a single explosion. It's 1,000 tiny sparks struck consistently in the same direction for years. Let's walk through these 12 moves, the real ones, the ones that don't make headlines but make millionaires. 1. They pay themselves first, automatically. Smart investors don't wait to see what's left over at the end of the month to save or invest. They flip the entire order of operations. The moment income arrives, a portion moves automatically without willpower involved into savings or investment accounts. This isn't about discipline in the moment. It's about removing the moment of decision entirely. Willpower fails, automation doesn't. This single habit is arguably the most powerful because it protects the investor from their own future self, the version of them that will always find a reason to spend a little more, a little sooner. 2. They treat debt like fire, useful but dangerous if mishandled. Wealthy investors don't avoid debt entirely. That would be naive in a world where mortgages and business loans can be tools for growth. Instead, they draw a hard line between good debt, debt that buys appreciating assets or generates income, and bad debt, debt that funds depreciating lifestyle purchases. A loan for a rental property that pays for itself is a tool. A loan for a car that loses value the moment you drive it off the lot is a trap. 3. They understand that spending less than you earn isn't restriction, it's freedom. This sounds almost too simple to matter, but it's the foundation everything else sits on. Many people earning 6 figures are broke, while people earning modest wages quietly accumulate wealth because the gap between income and spending, not the income itself, is what creates investable capital. Smart investors protect that gap fiercely, treating it as sacred, not negotiable. 4. They diversify without overcomplicating. There's a myth that smart investing means picking the next big winning stock. In reality, most quiet wealth builders spread their money across a handful of solid, boring vehicles: index funds, real estate, a retirement account, maybe a small business stake. Diversification isn't about complexity, it's about not letting one bad outcome sink the whole ship. 5. They think in decades, not days. The person checking their portfolio every hour is rarely the person building real wealth. Smart investors zoom out. They understand that markets dip and spike constantly in the short term but tend to reward patience over long stretches of time. This long horizon changes everything. It turns market crashes into buying opportunities instead of panic triggers. 6. They reinvest instead of cashing out. When a dividend arrives, when a bonus comes in, when a side project pays off, the instinct to spend it is strong. But quiet wealth builders redirect that money back into the system that's already working for them. This is how compound growth actually compounds, not by adding new inputs constantly but by letting existing gains generate their own gains. 7. They increase their income, not just their savings rate. Frugality has limits. You can only cut expenses so far before life becomes unbearable. But income has no ceiling. Smart investors treat their earning capacity as an asset itself, investing in skills, certifications, side businesses, or career moves that increase what flows in, not just what stays saved. 8. They build multiple streams of income. Relying on a single paycheck is one of the most fragile financial positions a person can be in. Wealthy investors build layers: a job, a rental property, a dividend portfolio, a small business, freelance work. If one stream slows down, the others keep the whole structure standing. 9. They protect their money with insurance and emergency funds. This one rarely gets discussed because it isn't exciting, but an emergency fund is what prevents a single bad month from destroying years of progress. Insurance is what prevents a single accident from wiping out a lifetime of savings. Smart investors don't see this as pessimism, They see it as the quiet infrastructure that lets everything else work without collapsing under one unlucky event. 10. They avoid lifestyle inflation. As income rises, most people's spending rises right alongside it: bigger house, nicer car, more expensive habits. Smart investors deliberately resist this. They let their income grow while keeping their lifestyle relatively stable, which means the gap between earning and spending, the fuel for investing, keeps expanding instead of disappearing. 11. They keep learning quietly, continuously. They study markets, industries, and their own mistakes. Not to become expert traders overnight, but to slowly sharpen their judgment so that over the years their decisions get better while others stay the same. This is invisible progress, the kind no one applauds but the kind that compounds just like money does. 12. They stay consistent, especially when it's boring. This might be the most underrated move of all. The market will crash, life will throw distractions, motivation will fade. What separates people who build lasting wealth from people who almost did is simple: they kept going anyway. They kept investing during downturns. They kept saving during hard months. They didn't need excitement to stay consistent. They built systems that didn't depend on emotion. Bringing it together. None of these 12 moves are exciting. None of them will make headlines. No one is going to post a video bragging about automating their savings transfer or reinvesting a small dividend. And that's exactly the point. Wealth that lasts is rarely built loudly. It's built in silence, in small repeated choices, in the unglamorous decision to keep going when nothing seems to be happening. The people who quietly become wealthy aren't smarter than everyone else, and they're not luckier. They've simply understood something the rest of the world overlooks. Consistency beats intensity, and time rewards patience far more generously than it rewards impatience. So the real question isn't whether you understand these 12 moves now. You clearly do. The real question is what you do starting today. Because a year from now, you'll either be the person who read this and moved on, or the person who quietly started making these same 12 moves, the ones that, without any noise at all, are already building someone else's future right now.